All right, now let's go into financing. Let's add our first loan. Here you can enter, say, all right, we're going to do 70% LTV, but then what if our DSCR is 1.35 or maybe 1.25? If you want, also, if you want to set some defaults, you can come in here. So it all depends on your actual loan type. Let's do a non-Dutch draw or non-Dutch on draw loan with renovations, and then the prepayment penalty window. This is 9 months. This is typical for prepayment penalties. All right, so for us to fill out the LTC, then we need to come over to CapEx. So for CapEx, what we're going to do is going to add a category here. Let's say add interior renovation. So a cool thing about this is, see this little drop down here, is you can, all right, we're going to resurface some tubs. We're going to resurface vanities and sinks. Let's resurface countertops in the kitchen, surfacing, and let's do sinks and faucets in the kitchen. So here we have predetermined amounts. These are just averages. You can come up to the construction budget right here and say, well, no, I want to do the economy. It's going to be a little bit cheaper. This is just a multiplier. Standard is going to be a multiplier of 1, and premium is going to be higher. And then also, let's add a category. Let's add some exterior. And again, you can roof replacement, exterior paint, parking lot, repave, exterior lighting, playground equipment. All right, so what this does here is, if you don't like these values, you can always come in and say, well, let's do playground equipment is actually going to be closer to 250. We're only going to spend 45,000 on playground equipment. So you can come in here and edit. I would recommend double checking these numbers anyway. But if you come to the dashboard, you can see what happens on these red flags. You say, all right, negative leverage, debt service coverage is high, preset CapEx estimates. So 9 items are using built-in cost estimates. So verify with local contractors, but at least it gives you a way to move forward. So here's the CapEx. Looks like we're going to have 2.4 million in CapEx budget. So let's look at the financing loan amount. Let's make that LTV. That's limited by the DSCR. So let's remove the DSCR. And so now we get LTC of, so the loan amount is going to be initial funding, max commitment, down payment. So here, down here, you can see that our loan term is, let's do, or if you want to keep it at 60 months, what we can do is add a new loan, and let's refinance at the end of, let's maybe say 48 months. Valuation is 70%. Okay, the valuation is low. So remember, this is using the cap rate expansion. So after 4 years, cap rate expansion and the NOI is going to be significant that it doesn't even pay off the original loan. So this is where you come in and you start figuring out what you need to do to get the NOI up. If you expand all, then it goes into the monthlies. Here we're expanded. So let's look at the NOI for 5. So our NOI is actually less than what it is for the trailing period. So we need to figure out what's going on here. Payroll is super high. So then what we can do is we can come over to the expenses and let's change what the growth rates are for each item. Here, annual growth rate, or you can come down here and you can pick each one individually. So 3% is not too bad. Property management fee, maybe you're sitting at 3.5%. Maybe you need 250 per unit per year. So this is for your property taxes. Assess, yes. Valuation, let's make that probably 70%. Property taxes. So 165,000 up to 290. That's pretty different chunk of change. And then you can go and you can expand each one. It's like, oh, I got 5% growth on each one, but maybe it should be. So you can come in here. And it should probably make it easy to do it for the whole thing. So doing each one individually. Close on that. So this NOI goes from 8 cents. So what's going on? Why is this NOI? No, operating income is lower. Physical vacancy. So the reason why physical vacancy is high. So I assume you can come here, and the unit rent and unit economics. You have default annual rent growth 3%. And let's say we increase it every quarter. Vacancy during renovations. Let's do that. Stabilize. Do that. And let's assume it's going to take 2 years to get everything done. And I'm assuming zero rent growth from when I take it. But if you're going to increase rents automatically, you can say, well, let's take your market rents and add 25. So now you can see pro forma goes from 745 up to 770. Losses, physical vacancy, other loss, concessions, unit bad debt, economic vacancy. I have a hard time believing that the economic vacancy is only 2.75 for the trailing period. Let's actually look at the data, figure out where the vacancy is. It might not have any. It might be what the issue is it's not reporting vacancy at all. Wow, this rent roll does, or this T12 doesn't have vacancy on here at all. No, another thing is if it has 0 rows, you can click that and it'll populate all the 0 rows. All right, let's close. So that vacancy is off on the trailing period. You can see, so what this is doing now is it's taking all the fees and adding in 3% growth. Can you click this table to view the data? This is going to be the T12 data. Or you can click the gear. The gear is going to be your annual rent growth. Here you can also add in different line items that are not automatically there. If you don't like the mapping, you can do it your own. Here, if you're going to implement rubs, I haven't read the OM yet to see if it's all bills paid or anything yet. Let's look at the expenses and see what the utilities are. Let's see if it has income. So it doesn't have any income other than the utility fee. So it might just be a blanket utility fee to cover some of the utilities. But it looks like it's just a percentage. So let's open up the data again and look at the utility fee. Yeah, just utility income doesn't really give us much.